Welcome everyone to a Crep from the 80s. This is another spooktacular Halloweeny episode of the show. I am joined with two of my bestest friends in the whole widest of worlds, Andrew and Clint. Once again, they are back to taste the golden spray with me, and we're gonna do a little something that we're gonna talk about something that we all share a love in, and we all have various connected history with. The 1985 made-for-TV movie, The Midnight Hour.
It's the midnight hour, baby.
Ooh,
So we all representing. And Clint, do you have this poster? Because I know Chris does.
I don't. I need it, but I don't.
Well, so I remember Chris getting it, and I was so jealous of that poster, and I could never find it online. I'd searched and searched and searched, and finally somebody in one of the groups was selling it, and I just happened to catch the post like a minute afterwards and was like, I want that. Give me. I don't know how much it is. Just tell me. I'll give you the money. And then everybody else jumped on it after me, but I got it, and I was very happy. Yeah. And I was telling you guys, I don't have my original taped off TV copy around. It's somewhere in the house. I just don't know where, but I'll dig that out and probably watch it.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm jealous that you've had this for a long time in your life. You know, this is a relatively recent thing for me.
Yeah.
Relatively recent, being like a decade or so now. You know, since I first watched it.
Yeah. This is what I grew up on. Like I literally one of my earliest memories was going out trick or treating with my older brothers, and I came home and they were playing this on. At the time, it was Lifetime television, and they played that every year on Halloween. Yeah. I have no idea why Lifetime had it and why they played it, but I was just like, this movie's so weird and great and perfectly Halloween. But the version I taped off TV, I think I pressed record right after the title, so I didn't know what this movie was called until I was like a teenager before I actually figured out what the movie was. Because before the internet, not to date all of us, but it was a lot harder to figure stuff out like that. So
right.
Nobody else knew what this movie was, so I couldn't ask like, hey, have you seen this movie that I don't know what it's called, but it's got all this weird shit in it?
Geordie LaForge is in it?
Yeah. You know that guy? No, nobody had a clue what I was talking about. So
Sherry Belafonte.
Yeah. Well, eventually, that was I don't even remember how I figured out what it was. Might have been like a Fangoria message board. Like this would have been college even at that point. And somebody told me it was The Midnight Hour, and they said it was coming out on DVD like very soon. And so I picked up the DVD. So I still have that somewhere too in the house. So
crazy. $300 DVD. It's like so expensive.
I know, it's crazy. So when did you first see it, Clint? Like, how did you hear about it, and when did you see it?
I knew about the Anchor Bay DVD, and I tried to watch it on. It was called VO back in the day, VEOH. It was like just a streaming website, and I tried to watch it on there, but I remember the quality just being like absolutely terrible. And this was like early internet, like right around, I was in college when YouTube was becoming like a big thing. So it was like the alternative to YouTube at the time. Yeah. And it just looked terrible. So I didn't watch it. I think I watched it the first time, with you guys. Like the first full time, like sitting down and watching like a copy that looked passable. I think it was your VHS. I think it was a VHS that you had. Someone's VHS.
Oh, really? Okay. So I didn't realize. Oh,
It would have been a DVD.
It was a burn DVD.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You did see it here.
so was I there the time you watched it the first go around? Because I don't think I realized if I did, that was your first time seeing it.
I thought it had to have been because you were like I remember you were like the midnight hour guy, you know?
You can put that on my tombstone.
Yeah.
The midnight hour guy.
So,
Chris, remember the exact what we were doing?
I mean, I remember you seeing it.
He was the whole time.
Andrew and I have watched it. You know what I mean?
It may have been when we were doing Death of Lantern 3, writing Death of Lantern 3.
Possibly.
Yeah.
It could have been.
Because I remember like watch stuff to like get in the mood to write Death of Lantern 3.
Yeah.
So that's been way more recent than
Death of Lantern, the original Death of Lantern 3.
Okay.
Which was a completely different thing than the remake.
Yeah.
That was a little bit ago.
So
10 years, I feel like.
Yeah, a long time ago.
I mean, we probably would have started talking about 3 right after 2.
Yeah.
2 was 2014.
Yeah.
Death of Lantern 2.
Okay, so yeah, about 10 years then.
Yeah.
And Chris, when was the first time you watched it? Was it with me?
You. Yeah, it was you.
When did we watch it?
This was probably 2009.
Was it at a wasteland?
I don't know if it was at a wasteland or if it was at whatever apartment I had at the time.
Okay.
And I just remember being like blown away. Like I remember like one that I couldn't believe that something like this had passed me by.
That surprised me that you didn't know about it.
Yeah, because I was pretty on point with my television watching back in the 80s, and certainly something like this would have caught my attention. Full steam ahead. I would have been like, "Oh my god, this is," I got to see this.
How different would your life have been if you had seen that as a child?
I mean, not much different because
he'd be like the millionaire Biff in Back to the Future too.
Yeah,
he just got
completely different.
Yeah,
right.
And I was still
somehow he's just a billionaire
or all that stuff. So it would,
Was this like the only time I've ever shown you a movie and hyped it up and it actually was good? Other than Demon Wind, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, because usually I love crap movies and then I hype them up, and they don't always live up to that hype.
Yeah, this was a revelation for me.
Yeah.
It really was like, like I said, I consider myself a really well versed in that decade and growing up in that decade and sucking everything I could from that decade. And this was like this was like being a kid again.
Yeah.
And seeing something fresh from the 80s for the first time and just being like, wow, this has every ingredient in it that appeals to me in some way.
Sure.
I guess when you maybe a year later when you showed me Miami Connection, in 2010, I think at first I was like, oh my God, Miami Connection is great. But then the more I watched it, I was just like,
yeah,
all right, 2-3 times is good.
It doesn't hold up with repeated viewings like
It's
Midnight
not
Hour.
funny to me anymore. No, Midnight Hour is actually like genuinely entertaining, and regardless of, 2009 when I saw it, it still has a very nostalgic feeling to it, even though I didn't grow up with it.
What kind of feeling?
Nostalgic feeling.
Okay. I didn't understand what you were saying there. Yeah.
And that's something that I think all three of us really love about the movie, is that it's just so sort of it is so Halloweeny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has that perfect Halloween feel. Um, yeah, I don't know. To me, it just works, and it has the tropes of 25 to 30-year-olds playing 15, 16-year-olds. uh,
Yes.
it's got great music, really fun effects. It's got the cheese of things like that. It's got the Halloween. It's just the atmosphere is
Yeah.
awesome.
Atmosphere.
That's right.
It's got every monster imaginable in it, and it really, to me, nails, like you said, the Halloween vibe more than I think any Halloween movie does. This one really, like, you feel like you're in Halloween.
Yeah.
More than
Yeah.
I can't think of any other movie that really hits that as well as this does. But
People. I mean, you can sort of throw Halloween 4 up to it,
well,
but it
especially
doesn't.
that intro to Halloween 4, yes.
But it doesn't quite hit the heights.
No.
And as much as I love Halloween 4,
Oh, yeah.
I would say Midnight Hour.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess to a more modern extent, it would be. I think
Trick or Treat. Yeah.
is pretty
Yeah.
big. Wowzers as far as Halloween.
Yeah.
But this has the added bonus of being from 1985 and just having
Right.
Yeah.
that fun vintage feel to it.
And obviously it has that dance scene that Thriller ripped off. Clearly.
Of course.
Clearly.
Someone was like, "Oh, we gotta have like a Michael Jackson type. We gotta have like a Thriller. This is gonna be huge. We gotta have our Thriller.
Gotta change it up enough so we don't get sued." Yeah.
Another thing that, of course, appealed to me greatly is that it has a score by Brad Fiedel, who did the score for my favorite horror movie of all time, Fright Night. He also did the score for both Terminator films.
Yeah. Which I didn't realize until a few years ago. I was like, wait a minute. It's the same guy.
Yeah. So seeing his name in the credits and totally like hearing his style, I was like, oh my God, this just gets better and better and better.
It really
it became a movie that I watch it like outside of the Halloween season.
Yeah.
Certainly more so when you showed it to me, because I ended up wanting everybody to see it.
Yeah.
And so I showed it to a lot of people. And then it was just like, you know what, I'm in a Midnight Hour mood, so I just put it in. But it's definitely a staple every Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah. This is one of those ones that I save for either the night before Halloween or Halloween every year. Like, I watch it every single year, no matter what. So
I'm more
viewing the 21st.
Yeah. Like, I'll put Midnight Hour on it. Midnight Hour is, to me, kind of what Silent Night, Deadly Night is. I can watch Silent Night, Deadly Night also. Like, I'll just pop in Silent Night, Deadly Night. And it's like, yeah, nice little Christmas. When Morn Silent Hour comes on, like, I get that exact feeling with Midnight Hour. It's like, ooh, if I need like an instant Halloween like kick, I can put it on in April, and it's like, that was a comfy little blanket, of a movie.
And I feel like you probably need that down there because you don't get the weather to really feel Halloween.
It was like 70 degrees the other day, and I was chilly. I was like, oh, go back to 80. I need it to be 80.
No, I drove back to Indiana last weekend and it dipped down to the 30s at night. I was like, oh, okay. And that was the first time it felt like fall to me because
Yeah.
Kansas City, it's been in the 90s for the last, I don't know, 4 months. So haven't really escaped that. So it actually felt like fall.
So it's getting to that perfect time for the midnight hour to,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
we've been in the 50s in the day and
Oh wow.
40s at night, so it definitely feels fall. I mean, all the leaves are falling here.
Yeah.
You know,
You guys actually get seasons. We get extreme summer and extreme winter, and that's it.
Yeah, we've been opening the windows and putting like pumpkin candles on and shit like that, and just enjoying it.
Really
Nice.
feeling it. So Clint, that DVD that you have, is that a bootleg or like what is that?
So Chris, we should talk about it. This is a Warlock original.
Ooh.
So
a remake
that was
of the Power?
I had somebody, an artist, do that Monster Squad style representation of the Midnight Hour, and that was like so if people bought like the bundle deal at conventions for Warlock Home Video, then we would pass that out free. We would give them a free copy of the Midnight Hour.
Oh, nice.
Didn't it start at Wasteland?
Yeah. Yeah, and we just, it's just from the Anchor Bay DVD.
Yeah.
But, we wanted to have a special cover and something sweet for and it was great because like there was a lot of people who like, one, didn't know about the movie, or two were like, oh my God, I remember this movie,
Yeah.
Which was nice. And so that's what that is. I mean, that's
okay.
So I think the DVD, why it's so rare, is I think that there was music rights issues even with that first release. So Anchor Bay only had it out for like a couple months and then it got pulled.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I bought it.
It's got all those 50s and 60s tracks in it,
Yeah.
Is that what's holding it back from getting like a new like Blu-ray release? Is it the music?
I would think so.
I talked to my buddy who he used to do stuff at Vinegar Syndrome, and we talked about it, and I was like, this is my #1 Grail release. Like I want a Blu-ray or 4K, And he was like, trust me, Vinegar Syndrome has tried, and I think other companies have tried, and it's just the rights to the music is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And Disney owns it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's ABC, I don't the original.
Yeah.
I don't really see Disney thinking, yeah, we got to put out the Midnight Hour.
No, but I mean, they could license it. But again,
it's
if the songs are a bitch. I mean, it's the same thing that happened to Wonder Years. Like Wonder Years, the reason it never came to DVD until it did was because of the rights, the song rights. But then they finally put it out,
So if Disney owns the rights to the Midnight Hour, do you see them doing a Marvel Midnight Hour crossover event?
Yeah. They're going to get so desperate. Ernest is going to be an Avenger eventually. And they're going to have to fight some of the creatures. They're going to have to fight some of the creatures from Midnight Hour.
Oh, man.
They own those first 4 Ernest movies.
Get Sherry Belafonte, Harper, and Thanos like clashing.
Right.
Yeah.
I could see it. Yeah.
It'd be huge.
Yeah.
Tens of fives of dollars sold in ticket sales. It's just us three.
It would be just the three of us would be about it. And I didn't even really think about it showing you guys because like everybody I showed that movie to growing up hated it. They were like, "This movie's stupid. I hate it." And so
Wow.
I was like, "How? How?" Like it's got something for everybody, and it's just fun. Like there's like I don't know. Maybe I just grew up with assholes. I couldn't
I
tell
mean,
you.
I could see, people sort of looking at it as like ugh, this is,
But if you know that it's got its tongue firmly in cheek and it's doing it and it's just
Yeah.
it's well made.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
look at, my wife. She's not like the biggest fan of it.
Yeah.
Meredith isn't the biggest fan. She's like, it's okay,
Yeah.
I certainly have seen reviews online of people just being
Yeah.
like, ugh,
Yeah.
Obviously they have no souls.
It's gotta hit you. It hits you.
Right.
The right person
It,
has
it,
to enjoy it.
it hits me. It's like you said though, I could probably watch that movie anytime and just immediately get sucked into it.
But you savor it. I like that. I appreciate that. You
Yeah.
save
I,
it
uh,
and
I literally save it and wait to watch it, and every year it's a treat.
yeah.
When we had just moved, I think, and I could not find my DVD one year, and I ended up watching it on YouTube, and it was like pixelated and horrible, but I'm like, and I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta watch the Midnight Hour on Halloween, but now I always have a copy handy. I'm always ready.
It's in the
Out in the
holster.
bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've
Yeah.
got one in there, one in my suitcase if I'm traveling, the travel midnight hour. Yeah.
Yep.
Just emergency break glass. It's just the midnight hour.
Yeah, it's in a case on the wall. Yeah. Be
But
perfect.
there's stuff. The great thing about Midnight Hour too is there's stuff that is integrated into our works, our movies and stuff, and we say lines and also do when we're just around each other. There's always shut up when you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That easily is the most workable one that we
Yeah.
use all the time. But yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean that tends to happen with anything that sort of like tickles my fancy the way that Midnight Hour does. I
yeah.
definitely throw shit into movies. Total inside,
Yeah.
winks and like that. If other people get it, great. But
Yeah.
and certainly, as you guys know, when we all get together and there's something that really appeals to us or makes us laugh or we can rip on, then
Yeah.
we just keep doing it every time we're together.
There's always just that little earworm that gets stuck in our head every time we're all hanging out. There's something, a phrase, a noise, or something, a song.
And I feel like it almost like you can document what time period we're talking about if you just mention a certain phrase and be like, oh yeah, I remember that was
Right.
well, like Chris, when Sean and I were out at your place last time, we kept singing Ragdoll by Aerosmith. I have no idea why. Where did that come from?
We were watching something. It was one of the movies that we were watching, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a song that sounded familiar or somebody looked like Steven Tyler, or I don't know what it was, but we just couldn't let it go, and we just kept.
Yeah. We just kept working that into everything. Or like, Stargrove from Never
Stargrove.
Too Young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that and fucking Henry Lee,
Oh. I drove through Brazil, Indiana this past week.
and you
Saw
could hear
him standing at the street corner. You could hear him howling in the distance.
Man, Jack.
Oh man. Yeah, no, but the Midnight Hour definitely has a lot of that in it that we have. Yeah, you're right, Clint. We do use that one a
It's like
lot.
forever burned in our brains as just like a go-to
Yeah.
hangoutism.
Yep. And now, Josh loves this movie too, if I'm not correct, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So where's he?
Josh, he Josh is a little tougher to commit to these things.
Yeah.
I was literally just talking to him, and because there's the possibility that we're going to be. Oh no, not the possibility, but we are. We're doing a new LBP Classics volume, and
Mhm.
Blue Cheese Brothers is going to be
Oh, yeah.
on a new Blu-ray, and I was like, "Hey, Josh, let's do a new, let's talk about the Blue Cheese Brothers." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then I just talked to him today. He's like, "How about like in a couple weeks?" I'm like, "Josh, dude, like, I mean, it's full steam ahead. This thing is going to be coming out. Like,
Yeah.
it's ready to go." He's like, "Oh, well, Okay.
Yeah, I
Like, what are
have
you
not.
doing now, Josh? Literally nothing. You could probably just pop on and talk.
No, not right now.
All of a sudden, he just pops up.
What'd you wake me up for?
Daddy.
He pops up behind Chris in the video.
It's me.
I can see that. Yeah. I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Well, I'm going to be showing it on the 21st to some people
Yeah.
who have never seen it, never heard of it. I will be intrigued
Yeah.
if they'll be.
You'll have to let the reaction to that.
It never goes too well.
It never goes well.
Not really. I think Clint was probably the most like exuberant, viewer.
Yeah.
Who really took to it.
Mhm. Yeah, this one is, I mean, as far as like Halloween movies, this one is easily right at the top of my list of favorite Halloween movies. I mean, yeah, Halloween 1, Halloween 4, this Trick or Treat. I
Yeah.
mean,
Night of the
I can't
Demons.
Night of the Demons, which I always watch Night of the Demons kind of early in the Halloween season. Like I watched it two weeks ago, I think. Like right at the beginning. I always watch that one, but yeah, How
I just
are
got my viewing in.
how is the 4K of that? Does it look
Great.
remarkably different,
It's awesome.
or is it yeah?
It's great.
Hey, get down from there.
I didn't like the Blu-ray the first time I watched it because it was too good looking. And so the whole time I'm just looking at it and I'm like, this movie looks too good. I've only ever saw it on like the Anchor Bay DVD,
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like muddy and like that's just how I thought the movie looked. But then the 4K looks even better than that. But it's like so well done. The blacks are so black, the lights are so light. It's like it was perfect. So I was like, I was wrong. It can look better even and look great.
It's
And
pretty great.
did either of you get part 2?
Because
I have the olive release of part 2, and it's not good.
So I think they used the same print.
Yeah.
The thing about 2 that was the draw for me was all the extras, because they never did extras. Like the only extra on that olive release is the one commentary. But this has like a plethora of extras that I've already like cruised through.
Yeah.
And they were great, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
So
that's
maybe
why I have hope for Midnight Hour, like being released.
Yeah.
I think enough people would get it that it would be worth it for whoever did it. And it doesn't have to be a 4K. I mean, it's a 4:3 made for TV movie,
Yeah.
Just a nice Blu-ray. I know that there was one time I saw that both LeVar Burton and Lee Montgomery was at Chiller Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like so upset that I couldn't go. because I was like, what an opportunity,
Oh yeah.
Right.
And I was gonna take the poster and everything. And I was like, I bet next to no one is gonna be talking to these people about this movie.
Right.
Right. You could have
They've
talked
all
their
done
ear
other
off.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was just like a TV movie. Um, Dee Dee Pfeiffer, I know she's very easy to get a hold of. She has a podcast. She has Instagram. She's always talking. So I bet it would be really easy to get her
Yeah.
to talk about the making of this movie. Yeah. So I think the opportunity is there. It's just
Yeah.
damn music.
I mean, as far as made for TV movies, if they can make a Blu-ray of Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, or they can make a Blu-ray of Bad Ronald, why
Yeah.
can't they do the Midnight Hour? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And don't get me wrong,
100%.
I love me some Bad Ronald, but you know that.
It's no Midnight Hour.
It's no Midnight Hour, but I love Bad Ronald.
Yeah.
I talk about it way more than I probably should. It's kind of weird. Have you even seen Bad Ronald, Clint?
I have not seen Bad Ronald.
I've seen Bad Billy.
We've lived Bad Billy. No, you should track down Bad Ronald. Change your life, Clint.
I've seen Evil Raoul.
Raoul. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Bad Ronald is terrible. I'm not going to tell you it's a great movie. It's terrible, but
Midnight Hour is probably my favorite made-for-TV movie. Now that I think about it, I don't know if I like made-for-TV movie better than The Midnight Hour.
Yeah. Oh, it's my favorite made-for-TV movie. I'm trying to think of other ones.
Well, for me, I think It is.
Yeah.
I like Midnight Hour better than It.
I do as well. But I do like it.
I'm not a fan of any of the new version of It or the old version of It. I mean, they're fine, but
yeah,
Midnight Hour brings me joy.
Yeah,
it's
No, I like the original It. The new one, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. But yeah, like you said, Midnight Hour is just. If I want to smile, if I want to be happy, man, throw that movie on. It's, I don't know. I can't think of any other movies that do it like that.
I'm surprised that they haven't tried to tap into ABC or Disney into the Midnight Hour. Tried to bring it back again for to show it Halloween time now.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be. It is kind of timeless. I mean, it feels like an '80s movie, but the story has to deal with stuff. There's teenage love, and there's timeless elements of filmmaking in the Midnight Hour. I feel like it is interesting
because they did. Both the Boogity films are on Disney Plus.
Right.
Yeah. And I love the Boogity movies. I love those.
Me too.
But it's not as much as Midnight Hour.
I guess it still has to do with even broadcasting it with music. Probably still costs money to even just broadcast it, even if you own. They probably did the music rights separately from the overall film. I don't know. I just don't know how it all works.
Yeah, I have no clue.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's why the Anchor Bay was so limited. It was hey, you can do this for this amount of time. Good luck.
Yeah, maybe, right.
Make it count. Now, what would happen if they tried to reboot the Midnight Hour? How bad?
It probably wouldn't have a.
I don't think they could do it. I really don't like. I'm trying to envision.
I don't think it would be for people. You know what I mean? It would be for teenagers.
So now it would still be 30-year-olds playing teenagers. But instead of being set in the 80s, it's set now. But then they have music from the 80s in it.
Yeah.
So instead of 50s music, they would have 80s music set now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who,
Nights, baby.
Actors they could get to play who and what in the movie.
Nicolas Cage for sure.
Would he be Phil?
Yeah.
Okay.
He'd be LeVar Burton's character.
Right.
Well, I'm sold. Yeah, throw him in it and I'll watch it.
He'd be the Dick Van Patten character. He'd be the dentist.
Novocaine.
He'd be maniacal about it, though. Big eyes. the drill.
He'd be great. He'd actually be great. I'd watch it.
Maybe this isn't such a bad idea after all. We could talk him into it.
That's the thing, though. It's got to be all of our ideas and everything. It can't be somebody else. They'll ruin it. It's got to be us three to bring the story.
I'm in, man. I'm in.
All about Wellsville Nights, season 2, the midnight hour.
The midnight hour. None of it takes place at night at all. It's the midnight hour.
It's all It's all in a garage in the daytime.
With just a photo of Nicolas Cage and we make his mouth move.
Yeah.
Like he's talking. Perfect. But yeah.
Good stuff.
Yup. I'm just looking at my copy right now. Those young teenagers.
I think that's a good looking VHS. It doesn't look like it has too much like wear on it.
No, it's actually really good shape. It just has one sticker on the front that I haven't bothered to mess with, but otherwise it's in good shape. And I think I actually bought that while I was at your house, Chris. Yes, it was because we were talking about it because I had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I had this one and we were talking about this one, but we were talking about the poster and I couldn't find the poster, but I found the movie on eBay and then I ordered it while I was sitting at your house. Because I needed a second copy of it, for that glass case we talked about.
Yeah.
I would assume that all three of us have had sex singing.
I'm dead. You're dying.
You're dying.
Everybody should try to get dead.
Yes. You caught me there, Chris.
That's actually how I drop a deuce. I have to sing that song in order to actually get it out.
This is the unofficial soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it literally has every song in the film.
And if it's the same version as mine, it has this like the sound clips in it too, right?
Yeah, this is the one I burned for you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, then that makes sense.
And it's got all the Brad Fidel little bits in there, like
the
little background songs that he did for it as well. So some of them I don't know how this person even got, because they're not like, I don't know how he did it. You know what I mean? Like, because they are isolated. They're not like from the film.
I wonder if he reached out, and was like, "You have any tracks of this?" But,
maybe.
Or if it was Brad Fidel himself who made it.
Yeah, just like,
who did this?
Yeah. I'm putting it out, whether Disney says so. Yeah.
Well, you could always bundle the CD into the Blu-ray, and try to recoup the money back that way too.
Yeah.
Justify charging, because if a boutique label does it and it's not like a probably never going to be like a Disney release, but if like a boutique label does it, that's like a $50 disc. That's going to be like an expensive. I'd buy it too, but I'm just saying it's going to be expensive. Like that one's going to be. That's not going to be $20 Blu-ray.
No, and I could see like a company like Synapse putting that out where they do like the triple disc set, like you're saying, with yeah,
they'd be a good company too. They take good care of their transfers and stuff. Like literally any of these like boutique companies would do a good job,
Yeah, but I can't really think of many other movies that haven't gotten a real release that I want to see still. Like so many things have been getting put out that I never thought we would see, that like this is kind of like the last one for me that I can think of that I really need.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel like that too. I was very happy to see like another movie that Chris showed me, Surviving the Game. That was one. We watched it on the Chris's DVD and I was like, this movie rocks. And I was glad that's finally coming out. But Midnight Hour is like a level on of its own. Like,
there's a few I still want. But it is like it's a holy grail for sure. It's a
the top tier.
What it'll be a day long remembered when somebody finally puts that thing out.
Well, that was me when they finally put out Phantasm. I know, Chris, you were really excited about that too. No, you're a fan. Love it. But that was one of those movies too where I really, really wanted it for that long, and it finally, when it happened, I was pretty happy. I feel like the Midnight Hour is the same sort of thing.
It will happen one day. One day.
It better.
And we'll all join together again on Skype, and we'll be crying.
No, it is a release that I do believe will actually happen.
Yeah,
I think somebody will do it.
I think what I will tell you guys is, if they announce it, I will book a flight to either Chris or Clint. I will come to either of you, and we should all watch it together if they release it.
We should make that pact when they release it. Obviously, we're all going to get it, but we should converge at one place and watch it all together. The new transfer.
Absolutely.
It's probably got to be at Chris's because he's got the biggest screen out of all three of us, and
to take in that 4:3, that beautiful 4:3. Picture.
But I'm telling you guys, when that does happen, I will be there. We will watch it. Get some garbage plates and.
I'll get 2.
Oh yeah. No.
Pumpkin delights.
Yeah.
Garbage plates.
Oh my God! Now we're talking.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna cancel my weekend plans and do that.
Right.
Sounds.
Make your own. Make your own garbage plate.
I have.
Me too.
Yeah. Turned out pretty tasty.
Well, shit. That's it.
That's it.
We did it.
So we have made a pact to experience the Midnight Hour together.
Yeah.
Josh, is that you?
Keep talking.
We never saw Chris again.
Right. This is it.
So Clint, well, I've got you here. How's that Night of the Demons 3?
I rewatched it. Especially after like watching 1 and 2, which 1 is a near perfect film to me. 2 I like less than 1, but I still like 2 a lot.
Yeah.
And then 3 is just like, it feels like at times they're wearing like monster masks, like
the devil mask.
Yeah, the devil mask, when it turns like it goes from the mask into the creature, it still looked like he was like wearing a mask. It didn't look like a creature.
Different mask. Yeah. No, that I haven't watched part 3 in a really long time, and that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
But I'm still debating buying it just because I want to complete the set. You know,
I will say I didn't hate it. I thought it was just pretty like,
yeah.
I would probably watch it once every 10 years when I decide to like watch 1, 2, and 3 all together.
That's probably the last time I watched it was probably about 10 years ago. So
right. So, and the
we're talking
features,
about
features.
Norman's awesome experience.
Right. Yeah, Night of the Demons 3 is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Andrew here. Come on, we like some garbage. We like some...
I do. I do like some garbage, but that one is even rough for me. And that's saying a lot.
I don't know. Sometimes I think that you probably like the most garbage. Like I think you like more garbage than I do, and I like garbage.
Yeah, definitely I do. I feel like Sean might be the only person that likes more than me, but
that is true. I've seen him rate like some Lifetime movies and stuff. Like,
he
does Lifetime. It was great,
Yeah, no, I can't do that.
But hey, I watch garbage reality TV, so I'm no,
Yeah, we all have our things. I will say I started watching that R.L. Stine Zombie Town, and you were right. That
I saw it in the theater. That was rough.
Yeah, I threw it on Hulu like in the background while I was doing other stuff, and I found myself finding other stuff to do just to not watch it. So I don't think I'm gonna finish that one.
That was a rough one. That hit right in the childhood.
Well, and it makes me sad just knowing like Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase. Like, what are you doing? Like, why? No. It's abysmal.
All right. So thanks everyone for joining us for the Midnight Hour. If you haven't seen it, it is on YouTube for you to enjoy. If you have seen it, then please talk about it in the comments and let us know that you'll also be meeting up with us and watching. And we'll have a giant Midnight Hour party when it comes out on Blu-ray.
Yeah, the more the merrier. Let's do it.
But I'd like to thank Andrew and Clint for joining us on this episode, and I hope you guys have a deliciously evil midnight hour to get ready for the Halloween magic that is about to befall all of us. So, sweet creams, everyone.